I would argue that it's also part and parcel a policy of the continuing influence of white supremacy in American life, right? And but that is under assault now, right? And so there are people who are raising their hand and questioning the validity of that approach. So there's a debate. I don't know who will win that debate. I don't know what ideas will carry the day. I don't know if at the end of that debate is the principle of restorative justice, right? Like if that is the end goal, right? So all that, I think we're at the very start of that. We're at the very start of what I would call a new civil rights movement, maybe, and it's exciting to be at the start of something new. And we should then do something like that. It's exciting to be at that moment. And you could tie together some of these things like the gay liberation movement, the contemporary gay liberation movement, and the Black Lives Matter movement, and an attempt to reconfigure American identity along different lines that include in that movement an assault on the criminal justice system and what I see as a form of state violence, right? Like locking up this woman that you're talking about is the state engaging in a violent act, right, itself. War is state violence, right? I mean, the state engages in all kinds of violent acts, some of which we might think are appropriate, some of which might give us a great degree of anxiety or pause, right? So, yeah, there's a tremendous inequity in our current criminal justice system. The statistics are overwhelming, and it's horrific. And the United States is an outlier, right? The United States does things differently than almost every other country that it compares itself to in this context, right? And is in more, and even the countries that the United States criticizes, we have to leave soon, but even the countries the United States, like the United States criticizes Russia and China in particular, singles them out for their weak traditions in terms of the principle of the rule of law, their weak record on civil rights, the way they imprison the political opponents get imprisoned, right? I mean, so like all these things the United States says you're doing it wrong in your criminal justice system. The United States imprisons way more people than either of those two countries, right? Like, and so it'd be easy for China or Russia to look at the United States and be like, well, you're critiquing us, but how are you, like, and not just that we're imprisoning more people, but who we're imprisoning, right? So black and brown communities in the United States feel this as a war on their communities. So it's not just the woman that for example, that you were talking about in your visit to the prison, but it's not just her, but it's the entire, like, it's her family and her community.